man them not disrespect me because it's just a video to go watch. When I feel like too much chatting I go on, I slide it down and skip out the chatting and get to action. If you ever go for woman life and see a woman to the chatting and start, you get blocked from all angles. Imagine if I pay the pay to go see. Imagine if I pay the pay to go see it.
Imagine that.
Look good.
Murder.
First thing I get with class. Mystical can't come near me none time. I get with class. And let me tell you why me a girl with class. I say, but then when
Up.
to stay myself privately. If
No,
me
sir.
come talk, say, me do certain things. You wouldn't know something.
Let me just do the sharing as I usually do.
With one video with the surface. You remember that video there?
Hmm.
We in our room. You really that.
Light gun. Light na gun. But there's me above the exercise. Light na gun at all, my love. Me above the exercise. A bit of dress up. Me not tenable, you know. No. I'm about to go work out because outside it's raining. It's overcast. And me not go walk in this weather at all. But people, what a way they run out. What a way they run out, eh? Morning, my darling. Morning. What's up? What's popping? What a way they run out. Run out all your words. Me not having a look. Now look, now listen, now blink. I'm here to deal with a different subject. People, this whole thing between Mystical and, of course, Miss Kitty. Now, LaDonna did a video this morning. I did plan to do a live on this today as well, to be honest, because it's been the whole buzz from yesterday where I looked on things all about this. And I was like, oh my God. And you know, I've always said that I'm going to give Lady V's daughter a break because I'm aware of the background, the situation. Me nah go disrespect the thing, because at the end of the day, this girl, she clearly needs help and she's clearly traumatized. So I am not about to bash her or anything like that. Now, me not understand how Mystical end up in a wrap-ups with the likes of Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty is supposed to be an established lawyer, you know, a tapanarist entertainer, a hostess. I don't understand. If Mystical never answered, I wouldn't know who Kitty was talking about. Then me not tell you, Marva, I shocked. I was absolutely shocked. So, all right. So for those of you who are not aware, you know, Miss Kitty, she was the hostess at the Chris Festival. You know, me not really follow Chris, right? Chris Brown. And she did a phenomenal job. She was looking banging, great body, tannable, look good on the stage. And you know, Miss Kitty, she's very eloquent, full of vibes and all of that. And then me see Miss Kitty fly out with a whole speech. And in the speech, Miss Kitty depan, you know, big up all of the people and we do them 9-to-5 work. And you know, nobody can come disrespect the 9-to-5ers round here. And anybody would disrespect the 9-to-5ers round here, and oh, them are them are the kind of girl that went on a throat and a belly bottom and these things. And I was like, okay, all right. She was very passionate about the speech. And I said to myself, then what could I cause all of this? Why is it that Miss Kitty is using her platform to actually talk about a situation where it looked like it personal? So anyway, I go on the, you know, on the internet and see people's perspectives and what people are saying. And I'm going to just share a few different things because I'm going to veer away from what everybody else on social media, you know, the big platform holders are saying. First, I'm going to go focus on the small people them and the small people them perspective. You understand me? All right. So the first person, now first of all, once again, this is a over 18 something. And I don't want no children in the vicinity. So if any kids are around, move them. Right? Because we're going to look on something we're not going to be fit for earplay if a child is about. All right. So you know that Miss Kitty came out and she said what she said. And I don't know if you heard the follow-up that happened afterwards. So Miss Kitty came back and articulated on top of what she said on the stage. And this is what she said.
Hi. Oh God. Good afternoon to all the people with real jobs, real lives. You know, yeah. I'm doing real things, you know what I mean? Good afternoon to everyone, right? Yes. Those of us who are actively productive in real life, those of us who are not delusional, those of us who are not psychotic or a sociopath, good afternoon to every productive and progressive person in reality. Good afternoon to those of us who don't suffer from grandiose behavior. Good afternoon. Yes, to everyone. Hi, how are you doing? Yes. To those of us who have left one work to come to another work, right? Yes. Good afternoon to the people who are working hard, having multiple streams of income, and not pilfering and not, just being a parasite. Hello, good afternoon, Tisha. How are you? Blessings to you, Dawn. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Jesus. Now I wonder if I hear what she said. Good afternoon to the people who are not being parasites. Good afternoon to the people who are not basically being a menace to society. She's talking about, she's talking about Mystical. You understand me? And the fact that she came the following day and clapped back at her shows you that whatever Mystical said afterwards really upset her. And she was like calling her a sociopath and stuff like that she suffers from grandiose behavior. That means our behavior, she thinks that she's bigger than she is. Now, I don't know if you guys heard the comeback of Mystical and what Mystical actually said. This is very X-rated, so just brace yourself.
No, you come bucket human toilet. Why you had to go on a big ass Chris Brown stage show to talk about me with your dumb ass? A woman of so much substance. And you have to come talk about a girl with half your blood clot age. Miss, I'm not really familiar with you because I is young. Me's a young girl. If night could have come down your bed sheet, them could have talked, the people them would have surprised you. Fuck. My young wild and free, make me do my blood clot one with my front. No, you come.
Okay. That was part 1. I'm not about to play part 2 because it gets even more graphic than that. Right now, LaDonna has come forward to say that Mystical was out of line, and that Miss Kitty had every right to basically say what she had to say and defend the people who were doing their 9-to-5 jobs, and to speak in a derogatory way about women who chose to have the kind of lifestyle that Mystical has. That's what she's basically saying. I'm not going to go down into it all together. I don't know what Mystical do. I know nothing strange. It there everywhere. It is not hidden. And those of us who know the background story, know why it is that she is the way she is. You understand me? Now, let me say something. Prostitution is one of the oldest professions in history. Even in our Bible, you had prostitutes, Prostitutes were always present, providing a service for people from way back when. They were always the type of women that were looked down on by the masses. People looked at them and thought that they were less than. Remember Mary Magdalene, who washed Jesus' feet with oils and used her hair and dry the feet? Remember Mary Magdalene? Mary Magdalene was a woman of the night. You understand me? And Jesus did not reject her. I wonder if you hear where I'm coming from. Jesus did not reject her. He did not humiliate her. He did not shame her. The rest of the people around Jesus was like, listen, she can't come near your boss because sister, she want dirty girl. You understand? You can't have no dirty girl come and wipe your foot. And he said, no, leave her be. All right. Okay. I wanted to listen to Shabata.
You know why? Let me tell you, Jamaicans would not get what I'm saying because they don't want to. They are looking at the practice of the individual, which is mystical. A mystical shouldn't be here. You understand that she's a whore You understand? Miss Kitty is correct in whatever she's saying. Them dirty girl, you say, remember, it's your baby father, husband, son, grandson, and boyfriend. I go to these big old girl where I bum off a dildo and I bum like underneath them now. Excitement rise up a man. You understand me? I'm in our own big. You understand me? Want just feel she a bump and him till it bend. You get what I'm saying? So what is not your take, it's another man's in such an order because she has been sufficing in whatever she's doing. You don't understand stuff like that, you know. So when you match it now, you just say, why is it that I need to bring this child on stage with me? This is not an argument to talk about while making money. It's not. It is just not.
Alright, so now hear that? I'm not done.
KFC, Juicy Beach, Tasty, Mothers, Burger King. You want your child to avoid such workplace. So why when I find a problem with what Mystical say? You see, oh, we're not smart. That's why we beat your opinion and tell them go learn.
Alright.
Because you have way different shoes. You're on your feet all day. You know what it's like to be on your feet all day, Miss Kitty? Do you know what it's like? Anybody know what it's like to be on your feet all day? You wouldn't stop that. And your uncle that carried at the station long time.
Alright, you see now? A lot of people are gonna say that Shabada, you're defending on the wrong basis and stuff like that. Now, only need to understand this. Not everybody out there has Christian principles. Not everybody out there has got certain morals and certain ethics, certain standards, and so on and so forth. You understand me? Now, we know what we would ideally like to see a woman do with her body. Everybody have a police when it comes to the woman's body. Everybody know what woman for do with them body and what they know for do with them body. But the woman herself not have the right to do what she want to do because of peer judgment. Now, at the end of the day, Mystical is doing a job. It's not the job that we would ideally want if you're not that type of woman. But it's still a job, you know. It may not be 9 to 5, but it's still a job. Now, when Mystical made a comment about 9 to 5 job and I cussed the people, it was somebody who came up in the comments and said, we're not going to look at work and stop sell your front and all of that. And she was defending herself against that person and being quite, verbose with it. And I talk about how much she earn and what she earn in a minute, you earn in a lifetime. All them kind of something there. You know the talk them. It was not directed at Miss Kitty. So when Miss Kitty came out and made that comment, clearly she's seeing the videos and she's seeing the stuff them, the things them all over social media like the rest of us. And she came out and started attacking her through the fact that the girl was on the stage, she was participating, she had do her dancing or whatever, and she come for throw words at the girl. No, everybody's gonna say that what Miss Kitty is saying is right. It isn't wrong. But I'm going to say to you guys, did Miss Kitty have to do it there? Did she? Did she have to go on the stage after the girl do her performance? Did Miss Kitty have to go on the stage and say what she have to say at that point to humiliate a fellow female in the name of woman empowerment? I just want to think outside the box for a minute. In the name of woman empowerment, did it have to take place in that space? Couldn't it have been done differently under a different circumstance? Hey, afternoon. Couldn't it have been done a little bit differently? Like, couldn't she have, if she did want to have a word with her, she could, you don't think, say, a little girl like that would have look up to somebody like Miss Kitty? Would I see Miss Kitty like an auntie? She couldn't draw her one side and say, my girl, you know that you're a beautiful young lady and I've been seeing you on the internet and I see that you can do so much better. Why don't you think of other options? Have a word with her. But what Miss Kitty did was Miss Kitty went on the stage and Miss Kitty started to rip and throw her word them and all of those kind of things. And it totally connected with the right person. So you got the comeback like what I played. when the girl come out and start call her all kind of name, describe her body, she start body shame her and all of these things. There was a time and place for the thing, and I believe that Miss Kitty could have done it differently. Even if Miss Kitty did right, she could have done it a bit differently. The argument no wrong. There is no way you can compare that kind of lifestyle to a 9-to-5 job. Every person supposed to know that the person with a 9-to-5 job or even multiple jobs have to be respected, because hard work have to be respected. But not everybody have to grind like that in order to make it. Some people choose the easy way out. Some people choose to come online and beg, and it work for them. Some people choose to use their creativity, sell products. Some people do what God give them. Is God give them bodies so eat them use. Especially if they have a beautiful one. Some people never good in a school. So them have to go to the practical things. I'm saying that everybody in this world has a role. Everybody have a method of making it. You understand? And when you start to rip down another one for another one, of course it's going to lead to friction. However, in this case, when Mystical made those comments about 9-to-5, it was to do with somebody in the comments of her life that was telling her, say, she forgot look her work and she for stop sell front. You understand? And she responded to that person and made up all her comments and said the things them. And Miss Kitty bite out. And anytime you find people that buy out argument, them always end up on them face and get themselves in a tizik. You understand? But me nah look. Right? But all I'm saying is this. If Miss Kitty did talk to that little girl in a different way and talk to her one side, you know that Miss Kitty would have get a different response. That Mystical would have never come out and start going with herself and cuss up and go on like that. She wouldn't do it. She would have taken the advice. She would have listened, and it would have been one more nail in the coffin to get rid of the past and the present that she currently have. But no, everybody a jump and I say, yes, we're tired of the nasty girl. Let me put it pan line for make it look like that lifestyle is interesting. Ladonna, that was the perspective you came at. You understand? And you did not understand why it is that Andre Stevens came out and was actually saying, Miss Kitty, this was not right. Everybody was busy defending, but you did not realize that there's far more to it than that. It's not that what she's saying is wrong. It's the fact that it could have been said in a different way. Even if it's on the night. Even if it's on the night of the event. Miss Kitty could have talked to her one side if woman empowerment is at the core of what she's trying to do. Those of us who are older than them, the youngers, we have a role and a responsibility. And many times it's about us giving advice. Sometimes the youngers, them don't want the advice. And them see it as criticism and them back go up against the wall. But giving that advice is really important for them to be able to reflect. This is why I say I don't support foolishness. If I see foolishness, I'm going to call it out and say it's foolishness. But if I see greatness, I'm going to celebrate that. You understand me? So at the end of the day, if she see her lifestyle and she has said that her lifestyle not make it not ready, it not turn good. And that for a young girl, she can do better and she can stop all of that and do more with herself. There is no wrong message in that. The wrongness is in the delivery, the timing, the platform. You understand me? When Mystical made her comment, she was making it to her followers. To being taunted in the comments. Not to Miss Kitty. So if Miss Kitty was about woman empowerment, isn't it about looking at a way to make a woman a bit more conscious of her strengths? Or learn how to turn our weaknesses into strengths? Rather than judging her in terms of what it is that she's doing on a day-to-day basis. And remember, you know, me and lady with the alphabet is not no friend. Alright? And I have got my issues with how she presents things. But you see the story with her and her daughter, I understand it. You understand me? And there's nothing that this woman can do to stop her daughter from doing what she's doing. Ladonna, you come up and I talk about the girl don't want to change. You know that I went on Mystical's live and I asked Mystical, and that was when she was just on Instagram, and it wasn't our show, you know, our show with our things them and are going on. It wasn't one of that. It was just one when she was sitting down and she was actually talking about the fact that she owns a licensed firearm, and she was talking about that, and I asked her the question. I said, Mystical, how long do you plan to stay in the industry? And it's funny because that question jumped out at her. Like it's the first she ever get asked that. So she had to answer that one. She said, boy, me no know but maybe another 5 years. She goes, what do I plan to do? She says another 5 years and then I'm going to retire. So I said, retire, and what do you plan to do after you retire? And I tell you that she was following my questions, you know, so she was answering everything I was asking her. And she said she planned to take her money. She planned to invest it in property. She planned to get out of the industry, invest in property, and so she can flip the property them and make money. That's what the young girl said. And I said to myself, you have a plan. At least if you have a plan, and this is not it, that is better than nothing. No judgment, just putting our mind in a different place to say, what could you be in 5 years? How would you see yourself in how many years? When you're empowering somebody, it's not about ripping them apart. You understand? I don't believe in tearing down any woman, especially black women at all, because we are the least protected, defended on this earth. However, I think it is empowering other working class women. Oh yes, Miss Nurse, yes. But in this case, Miss Kitty Skid, she is not a working class woman in terms of your regular standard 9 to 5. This young girl is not. She is a hardcore porn star. There is no question about it. That is her life, right? And she's not the only one. There are many other hardcore porn stars out there. Probably not necessarily that many in our community that's as vocal with it. But that is her career at the moment. So how do you empower somebody who has not chosen the path that is most trodden? How do you empower somebody who takes the path that's less walked? You can't use the same bog standard approach because they are not ascribing to our principles, our morals, our ethics are not the ones that they hold. So Miss Kitty, as a person who is about empowering women, and also as a highly educated woman who knows that communication, it can alter according to your audience, should have picked up that going on the stage and saying and doing the things that she did was going to result in this guttural comeback. She should have known that. Because she's a little girl. She immature and she not responsible at all. You understand? So whenever it is you're going to get a comeback, it's going to be this nastiness. And then you're going to go back on your radio show. And you're going to then throw even more shade, call her a sociopath, a parasite. You know, some serious breaking downs going on there. You understand? Okay, fair enough, you don't respect her. There's a few women I don't respect. Right? And I'm not going to rag them like that, but I will definitely, if they come for me, I'm going to go for them. Definitely. But I'm just saying, you don't have to respect what she do. But you could probably have done it differently. So let me see this now. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but I don't think Kitty has a problem with her being a porn star. However, I think she said something because of Mystical's statement about the working class women. Yes, Miss Nurse, I don't know if you're a bit late, but yes, that's what we addressed earlier, right? She does have a problem with her being a porn star because a part of Miss Kitty's speech was the fact that she never have no she not argue with no girl when I have no throat back and no belly bottom and and oofa mouth doodle up, and she went into some graphics when she was making the comments. That's okay. She went into some graphics when she was making the comments. So she was talking specifically about a woman who is involved in a promiscuous lifestyle. Right? Yes, she did. You know how Miss Kitty stay. Miss Kitty don't hold back. Miss Kitty said the things them, right? She didn't hold back. But I'm saying on the Chris Brown stage, really? On the Chris Brown stage with the little girl, you know, could have talked to her one away. You understand me? You could have pinched her and say, listen, me never like that comment the way you make about the 95 woman, them, you know. Or the 95 people, them, you know, me not like that, you know. Because that is not something to be ashamed of, you know that. And talk to her like the older woman that you are, the older, more established, classier woman that you are. And you would have gotten a different response and you may have had a positive impact. Yeah? Right, they did fit happen. Tear you bad. You bad. Why? Why it for happen right there so? No man, me not think so. Me not think so. Me have little mercy upon her. I don't know if it's because me know maybe my heart is softened because I know her background story. And I know that somebody like that has to have such trauma that their whole perspective on life is totally messed up. So it's like me can't go hard upon the girl because as much as it listen to me now, man. For real, brawling and all. Let me tell you. You see, I have seen some of the stuff, you know, because she's also on Twitter, and I've seen on Twitter when it all came out, and I went to have a look for myself as a blogger. I went to go have a look at myself, and when I saw, I was like, oh my god, this is not even gentle. It's really, really hardcore. And I felt a kind of heartbreak because I was like, my God, put myself in Lady with the Alphabet shoes and said to myself, my God, how you must feel. You know, how you must feel, how your belly button must burn you every night for know that a child of yours is doing that. It must be terrible. And that in itself is a trauma to live with every single day. You understand? And you're having to be, you know, worried and all them kind of something. So I just put myself in the shoes of the mother and said to myself, say, I would not want my child to be torn down. You know, I already know that the world, the standards of the world are looked down upon my child. Whatever is around me in terms of my community, I wouldn't want to experience it in my immediate space. So I try to take a gentler tone to the thing. You understand? But Kitty never called her name. I don't even know this girl until the whole thing happened. Yes, she never called her name. Just like how when she named it come out, she never called her name neither. But because it came right after the performance, and because it was like obvious that this discourse happened and it went viral, you know, it was all over the place that she had cussed 95 workers and stuff. She picked up that it was about her. You understand? She picked up that it was about her. Now, as you rightfully said, probably Miss Kitty never did that talk about she. Maybe Miss Kitty did that talk about any random promiscuous girl. Maybe. You understand? And maybe Mystical say me because she knows me did up on the stage and she know my lifestyle and maybe it hits. You understand? But then, you know, we have to be aware of the kind of environments we're in when you're in the entertainment industry. If you're going to go on stage and you're going to have that kind of, you know, talk and stuff like that, and you know that the people that you're working with are probably in that environment and I do the things there, you know, so it's going to hurt. So it shouldn't be surprising for them come out again on another live and talk about, oh, you're parasites and you're sociopath and, you know, big up the people and we have a normal job and live in the real world. Listen, prostitutes live in the real world. Sex industry workers live in the real world. They do provide a service. It's not a service that is considered to be highly regarded. It is not something that we want our daughters to aspire to, right? I do not necessarily think that all women or all girls are going to be looking at Mystical and saying, Lord, I want a life there. Oh, when Mystical come on our live one day and she was talking about her abortions. You know, the fact that she has had 3, including the one that she just had recently. And people were in the comments and they were trying to counsel her and say, listen, use protection, you know, avoid this kind of thing and stuff. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna have long-term effects on your body and blah, blah, blah. It's shocking. It's very, very shocking to imagine that somebody is living like that, right? But at the end of the day, there is a way to deal with people like this. Tearing them down is not gonna make them change. It isn't. It's not going to make them change at all. Respect to you and Legendary. Don't be like the others. Be the voice of change, not tear down. That's it. So Mystical performed at Chris Brown's show. Yeah, she was on the stage. Yeah, one of the dancer them. Why the back and forth with you and Legend? Back and forth. I ain't back and forth with anybody. He's the one that let most people know who you are, and I share him out too. Can't respect leads you guys to call each other. I don't like this. Too much betrayal on social media. None of that's happening. Abortion's there, Jesus. I pray for this little girl. Hope she finds some peace and turn from this life. KK, me not back and forth with nobody, you know. Me say what I have to say, I'ma move on. You understand me? You see, when I done. Nothing more to say. I have said what I had to say, and there's nothing more to say on that situation. You understand? I know what I heard, and I know what was said, and what was said to me. So there is no tearing down. Legendary continues to be legendary. He is a fantastic blogger. And on that note, I've got nothing else to say. But it's important that bloggers respect each other's space and respect each other's perspectives. And that is it. So there is no tearing down over here. And if anybody comes on here and says anything disrespectful to Leggy, I will block them. Trust and believe. So I don't have no time for any kind of foolishness. I will still say to people, go on Leggy's page if you want to go and find out what the tea is. Let me tell you something. It's like I don't know the levels of me operate pan, you know. It's when me tell you say bad mind in my blood, in my genes, Maria is right that way there. You understand me? So when it comes to people's success, I will never be your stumbling block. You hear me? Never, ever on this lifetime will I ever be your stumbling block. Anyway, abortions, dear Jesus, I pray for this little girl. Hope she finds some peace and turns from this life. Yes, she had it was her 3rd abortion, I believe, that it was on. She said it on Instagram, and she was talking through the process that she was taking tablets. It was not one that she had to go and do surgery for. She popped tablets like one every whatever, and she was being very graphic and open with it. And I said to myself, you know, it's a sad thing when a woman like this who has gone through trauma has to come to social media for counseling, because that's what she was using it for. Because clearly her mother does not approve of her lifestyle, and if her mother does not approve of her lifestyle, then when she goes forward and she starts saying certain things, the mother's gonna shut her down. I don't know if you guys saw the live where a lady with the alphabet was out with her family, her daughter, her son, and friends or whatever. And you know, that was the same live where she prayed over her daughter, and that's the one that LaDonna referred to in her commentary. And when she was in that live, she was saying that she doesn't approve and whatever of her lifestyle, and she asked the son to say something to his sister. And the one thing that jumped out at me is the fact that he said, I'm so sorry that you're not allowed to come around because of the things that you do. You understand me? That was terrible. And I was like, wow, you know. So it has gotten to that point in that household that in order for lady with the alphabet to go and to have any kind of communication with her daughter, she has to go to where her daughter is, based on what that son is saying. So the lifestyle is completely on the outside of that household, which means she doesn't have that regular counseling that she would like from people that she can just chit chat to about her life. So she is isolated in one sense. You understand? So when she's out there and she's making these decisions, and they're wild decisions, she turns to her social media and everything just comes out. But then when it comes out and then she goes back and she does the things, then people are like, well, she don't want to change. That's what LaDonna said. You don't want to change. But you know, people handle things in different ways. It was the perfect family in the outing. Yes, you know, they were together, and it was lovely to see, and the praying fun, everything was very nice to see. But I know that something like that can work its way out of your system overnight. It can't. And as one thing that was rightfully said was the fact that, you know, by Shibada, that a lot of these young girls, if they get in the money easily and them not have to turn up on them foot 9 to 5, them would have rather do that. Now, whether or not that is right, that is a different cup of tea. It don't right. You understand? It not right to live that kind of lifestyle at all. At the end of the day, if that is what you're choosing to do, it is going to bring disappointment to anybody who have a girl pitney who decides that them are going to join the sex industry. Nobody want that for them girl pitney. But I don't believe Miss Kitty should have to take to her platform during her job. She should be, you know, getting people all riled up about the performances, talk about the next upcoming performance or the next artist. You know, that is what should be happening. That should be the focus of the job. You understand? So what she did was take to the stage of the Chris Brown performance, and she brought a controversial thing that could have been addressed on her radio station. That you could have done it there if you have to go global with it, or you have to go out and talk about some. Go on your radio station then if you really don't want to talk to the girl. You understand? In the space where she was performing, in the space where she in earshot, it did rough to me. It did rough. Anyway, let me see what Peter Gate is saying here. Again, Kay, you know how you're ungrateful. I like you make everybody know about you, rotted. Hear there. Peter Gate, please stop that. As to Miss Kitty, she have butter in her Benz and she will leave the young girl alone. But Peter Gay, I am not ungrateful. I have always said thank you. What do you want me to do? Sell my soul? Is that what you want? So you think that because somebody is grateful, they must take all kinds of things? Is that what you think? Let me ask you a question. Somebody give you something and then they turn around and diss you. You're going to sit down and take that? Let me tell you this. Life is not like that. You hear, sweethearts? It isn't, and it never will be. And with all due respect, I have also shared Leggy. You understand? But he was already known before me. I have always appreciated and said thank you for the shares. I have never asked him to. He does that of his own accord. Own accord. Didn't he also say that to you guys? That people give of their own accord? That is not begging when people do it of their own accord. So why you not take him lessons then? Him teach you that already, you know. So if him do something of his own accord, he chose to do it. And I chose to say thank you. I acknowledged it. And that is what matters. Always grateful for that. But hey, it will still happen. People will still know about me. Remember, you know, I am growing even bigger on Facebook, and that had nothing to do with Leggy. No, the few that's over there that would have followed from YouTube is not Leggy. I had more followers over there. So relax, okay? As I said, I have said what I've said, and I'm not ungrateful. I am not at all. But I do believe that there's a line of respect that must never be crossed. You hear me? All right. Because me not diss people unless them diss me. Yeah. And no amount of gratitude can replace respect. You hear me? People must treat you how they want to be treated. It's simple as that. And I'm not saying that it's not something that can be. I'm saying that I have said what I have said. You get me? I have said what I have said, and it will not change. So you guys need to stop talking about Leggy on my live. Now that you have gotten the response, I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. Right? If you wish to go over to Leggy's page and talk about me, that is between you guys and Leggy. But over here, I am focusing on Miss Kitty. And I am focusing on this young lady, Mystical. And I think that, yes, you're right about that part there. She feel like the girl. That was not the space. We don't want young ladies to have that kind of outset when it comes to life. We want the young lady them to have higher aspirations. But let us not pretend as though sex workers are a new thing. A long time them they about. A long time them they about. Back road they were on long time. You understand? And these women are there. They serve a purpose. Some men love them. You understand me? So it's not like she's not doing a job. If you're telling the young lady that you want her to do a better job, you want her to respect herself more, you want her to not sell her soul for $1, all of that is all, uplifting talk. But what Miss Kitty did on that stage was not empowerment. It was really about a comeback. It was a comeback. You understand? And when you get to that point, you're not really delivering a message anymore. You're not delivering a message anymore. You are basically fighting. And that's you do. And that is what Miss Kitty did on that stage. You understand me? Right. So, let me just go back to this. This interview was quite interesting because this person was real angry about it. But listen.
Like somebody find phone on a move. Internet me could know. Me never did know who name you. Thank God for Lincoln. Me never did know who name you. You come and this up educated girl. You know about we are so with education. Move yourself, big up yourself, bash. Move. You don't want to come normalize speaking for yourself pussy. And that's what you want to come do. You don't want to come normalize a little 14-year-old girl them to come sell pussy. Move it, go look at dirty nasty lifestyle and go and go hide a look at dirty face and go. I won't know. We now make no look of double cancer choke girl come mash up the whole society. We don't want to come to look of dirty nasty lifestyle for everybody to adapt to it. Hey girl, move. Education we say. Education is the key. You hear that? Education is the key. No, nobody telling about say education not important. I want to say look who yes internet girl. Move on the blood clot. If internet shut down today, I want to take care of it. Move. You can't chat to it. You can't chat to it. If internet shut down today, how no survive? You no hungry belly, bomb or dirty blood clot. You move. We not fighting for no. Anybody can take up camera and just start the fuckery and make money. Move a look at dirty blood clot, girl. We not fighting for none now, no. I all we carry pussy. I mean, know say some of we pussy nicer than feel, girl. A man never go down in your stomach. How long them the boy they sit down up in your pussy for? How long? Me you see all your pussy not smell good. How long them the boy they stay in your hole for you come talk about at least the man them. Them man they don't want you. I trick them a trick blood clot you. Them man they don't want you. I just entertainment. And you hear the boy say? The boy say no want you. The boy say entertainment. Move it go dirty blood clot. I wish boy can use me for entertainment. Which dirty boy can come style me about entertainment? Move it dirty blood clot. You know nothing about style. Mama teach you about style, bitch. Mama teach you about levels. Mama teach you about ambition and morals. Dirty girl, if you shame your blood clot self. Move a look dirty no blood clot transfer. Move from your son. Like say nobody fine for you. Look at this up people.
It's not finished.
The size of your blood clot body. You come talk about how Kitty not have a man. A man you worry about. Hey, ladies, I'm say education come first. And what do you? Education and job come first. Now make the boy come dig up no hole and cancel the tonsil before time. Hey, now make no follow no girl and make no man come cancel them tonsil before time. You be shame your blood clot cell but you're young. You look like a 50. Move your duck dirty. Bubble double and fubble double blood clot and go from your son. Too hot and bright. You cannot count this up blood clot, Kitty. Hey, girl, move. Who you? Who you? You know, so time hard. All the money where you make, where your bed, show where your bed. Show where your bed right now, bitch. Me hear say your father have money. Me hear say your parents them have money. What you do with the money them with your parents? I like you, if I may have your parents, me take your dash in a river to blood clot. Because after all of them money them spend for you, look see them. You don't come out to nothing blood clot good. You still not come out to nothing good, bitch. You go on like say nobody find for you. Like a y'all alone carry good body. I want you big up a girl with the 95 with them good shape. Who you move a look at dirty blood clot and go. Big up the girl them with them nice shape. You go on like a y'all alone slim and nice. Look how much slim, thick, nice girl me see out there when I skin out them pussy. Move a look at dirty blood clots. Move. Nobody find phone. Every day you get up and come this up people blood clot work like so nobody find phone. On a move. Internet me could know uno. Me never did know who name you. Thank God for Lincoln. Me never did know who name you. You come and come
No,
this up
Marva, she
educated
didn't.
girl. You know about
But look at the backlash.
education. Move yourself, big up yourself, bash. Move. You don't want to come normalize speaking for yourself, pussy. And that's what you want to come do. You don't want to come.
Yeah, to repeat now, yeah. So, I want to know if one thing say, all this cussing we are going on the girl. From now, everybody left, right, and center. Me go on and me see peer meme. Me see all Pretty Dan this morning put up picture with she and one next somebody and I talk about you know, gala yamed. Me see all kind of something all about the place. Right. Is that empowerment? Really and truly. Who came for who first? And either way you take it, who has the most power in this situation to have the most effect? You the girl that said she never ever know about her. If it wasn't for Lincoln and the internet. The person in the position of the most power here is Miss Kitty. And when you have a certain amount of power of influence, I talk about this all the time, you know, that there's a certain kind of responsibility that you have for the words that you let go. It's all about the impact. That's why somebody like Miss Kitty is pulled into a concert like this, because of her impact, her influence, her talent. Because there are many talented presenters and hosts out there, you know. But you know that Miss Kitty brings a certain amount of power. So when you have a certain position of power and influence and you come on a platform, a stage, where you have got thousands, and it's a moment like a Chris Brown show, and you start doing all of that, knowing that the young lady was at the event and performed and whatever, knowing that the lady not too long ago had made the comment about the 9 to 5. Come on now. Why did she not call her name? And I know everybody's going to say that. And that's always the case, isn't it? In the court of law. If you don't call no name, no case. You know, like just like them say no face, no case. You not call the person name, you can't say it's defamation. So, you know, intelligent people know how to dance circles around things to make sure that it don't come back at them and hit them in any kind of legal way. Right? But you know that the word on the streets has some value. And you know that what is happening currently, trending on social media, is something that Miss Kitty is going to be on top of. And it was all over the place. You understand me? So when something like that happens from somebody who is more influential, more powerful, of course it is going to have a ripple effect that is negative. A ripple effect that is negative. You understand? A ripple effect that is negative. And you've heard it. People buying out the argument, jump on Miss Kitty case. You understand? And start defend Miss Kitty. Because them a fight for Miss Kitty and fight. Because you know that Miss Kitty is loved. She is hugely popular because people admire her. People look up to her. Them like her down-to-earthness and everything. But then she start going for the girl body. Didn't Miss Kitty do her body? Miss Kitty body done. You understand? Whether it be for her benefit or the benefit of attraction, it's still the fact that she went and did something that is very much attached to that kind of industry. Because it's something of the physical, the outside. You understand me? So she herself has got image issues. Issues with her body. Otherwise, she would not have gone and done what she did. And she has done that to make herself more appealing, sexier, more curvaceous. Remember the whole battle between her and Yannick? You understand? So, at the end of the day, you have also got some issues about image, self-image, how you carried yourself to the point where you went under the knife and you improved yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Because I don't have a problem with nobody who do surgery, you know. I don't have a problem with that. You get me? So if that is what you want to do to make yourself look better and feel better, go ahead and do so. Right? Now, the backlash that is happening with this young girl now, to me, is not worth it. It isn't. And as much as I don't like what she's doing with her life, I don't think it necessary for go down the road there with her. And that Miss Kitty should have never used her platform like that. She could have talked to the girl and make her know how she feel about her speech. She could have had an impact that would have been positive, not this. The impact of this is very, very, very negative. It is. And if Miss Kitty is about empowerment, then you know it would be nice. You know what would be really nice? If Miss Kitty went on our program and said, listen, let us address women who are in the sex industry and talk about it from an objective perspective, counsel and advise, and bring it right back. That would be something, that would be a move that would definitely have a better effect than what's happened here. And that's my point. You understand? That is my point. Anyway, guys, big up on yourself. Thank you for the 50 that's on here. Whether it is to come and listen or it is to come for here if me I go kick off about nothing. As you can see, I stick to my topics. And, you know, I hope you enjoy the fresh perspective. Please like up the live on exit. Don't just come and listen and go. Show me some love because, hey, I got no bad feelings towards any of you guys out there. Big up on yourself. This is your girl, Headteacha K. Bye-bye.